What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jagz Platinums, and today we're doing a Q&A.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Now, what I did is I went into my Discord and I asked everybody to give me some questions and I would answer them for a video. Of course, I got some really good questions and then I got some obscure ones that we'll have to go over. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you everyone so much for the support. Your boy is finally a YouTube partner and I can't wait to see how much we'll grow in 2024. But let's get right into the questions. Alright, so the first question has to be a banger, especially because it's from Mr. Shaz Shake himself. If you don't know him, make sure you go check him out. The link will be in the description. But his question was, bro, what game made me bust the most? Bro, that's not even a question. The next question comes from a viewer of mine named Blunt, and the question is, what made you decide that you wanted to do YouTube and how did you get into it? Now, growing up, I used to watch YouTube all the time, whether it was Vanoss, the Rad Brad, anybody that had gaming. Like, I loved it. I would watch it all the time. And what I did before this channel, about a few months before I started this channel, I was doing playthroughs. So I would just record me playing a game until I beat it, and then I would break it up into parts. I barely edited it. I would put it on the channel and it would get absolutely no views. Like, it was embarrassing. But then I discovered platinum content where I would see Bushido Cypher, which was really the main person who, like, I saw in the beginning. And then I saw Nick AR and IJ Josh and all the others. And that kind of put me to go towards platinum trophy content. But really what made me want to do it is that, you know, I never really saw myself going to school per se. Like, college wasn't really my thing. And I knew that YouTube was always a little passion of mine. Like, I always wanted to see myself in the shoes of one of those YouTubers, you know, living life, you know, entertaining and being, you know, on the game, enjoying time, all that stuff. So it definitely is what pushed me to get towards YouTube. And then, you know, I took a shot in the dark when I was at my lowest. I was like, I want something in my life. I want to do something. You know, obviously I can't sit and play video games, but what would make me do that? You know, what would help me push myself towards that goal? And that's YouTube, man. And hopefully it, you know, it continues to build and hopefully I get somewhere with it, right? The next question comes from another platinum YouTuber named Platinum Vault, and if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure to check him out as well. Link in the description. But his question is, what is the biggest learning when it comes to content creation? And if I had to put one thing in this category, it would have to be editing. It's so easy to learn how to record and figure out what equipment you need, but the hardest part has to be editing. It's so complex, and learning how to do certain things in the program could really take you hours to figure out. Like moving PNGs, making eye-popping text, transitions, sounds, audio cues. Like, it's such a complex system. But nowadays we have YouTube, right? So all we have to do is go onto YouTube, type in the search bar how to do this, and you would always find a video on how to do it. So if you're thinking about doing content creation, if anybody watching wants to do it, always use YouTube. YouTube has your answers. You just have to be in the right mindset to go for it. Okay, the next question comes from another YouTuber by the name of Flowers, and his link, like I said, will be in the description, and you make sure you check out those YouTubers because I approve of that message. So his question is, if you had to restart your channel today without making it a platinum channel, what would you choose? Outside of platinums, what are you passionate about? And if I had to choose what a new channel would be, if I like started fresh, it would probably be exactly what Flowers is doing. I love what he's doing with, you know, playing, you know, assortment of games, editing little, you know, videos on them and making it fun, always changing the content. You know, you could branch off and do whatever you want. Personally, I think I would like to do scary games. Like I would love to do like every scary game imaginable. But I think that's where my channel would lead to if I were to restart as of today. Another question from Shaz is, would I consider branching out into achievements? Now, I'm not too sure about Xbox. I mean, there is the whole thing going around if Xbox brings their exclusives to PlayStation, which means I would never ever buy an Xbox because all I want is Gears of War. But achievements on the PC side of things, I'm definitely going to do one game this year at least. I want to do something with PC gaming and achieving all the achievements. I'm not going to say what the games are. We keep that a secret between me and you, but it's definitely something I want to branch into this year. The next question comes in from Liam, and he asks, what's your favorite and least favorite game that you platinumed? Now, my favorite game that I've platinumed, and I wish I did it for the channel, was God of War Ragnarok. I platinumed this game before I had my, Jagz Platinums account, and honestly, I loved this game. Beginning to end, story, collectibles, combat, everything. Loved it. Like, truly a 10 out of 10. My game of the year. I could play it all over again. My least favorite game to platinum, if I had to choose as of right now, is Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm not going to go into details for because obviously you guys are going to get a video in the future, and trust me, you're going to find out why it's my least favorite platinum. And then Liam's second question is, do you have any milestone goals like platinum milestones or sub milestones? Now, currently in mind, I only have platinum milestones. Like for my 50th platinum, I'm going to attempt to do my first 10 out of 10. And then obviously when I get to 100 or 75, whatever the milestones are, I would always, do 10s out of 10s for those milestones. Shaz then sent me another question asking, what's the sequel you always wanted but never got? And it has to be Dante's Inferno or Splatterhouse from the PS3. Those games are crazy. I mean, Dante's Inferno is almost an exact replica of God of War. To see another game like that in today's generation of consoles would blow my mind. Like the way God of War is now, who knows what Dante's Infernos could have been. And Splatterhouse, if you don't know what Splatterhouse is, you absolutely have to watch some kind of gaming content on it. I'll put a little clip just so you guys could see what it's like.
Ain't your mama, asshole?
But those are definitely two of the games that I wish I got a sequel for. Then we got one coming in from Al asking, have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary? Now, this has only happened to me once, and it's kind of embarrassing. It was for Until Dawn. There was a jump scare in the basement of the cabin that scared me to shit. Like, honestly, I left. Oh my God. I turned off everything, turned off the game. I could have kept playing for hours. I just turned everything off. I didn't want to play anything. I was so it caught me so off guard that I just couldn't do it anymore. And for a game like Until Dawn to scare me that bad is pretty embarrassing. And then Al asked a question that he thought I wouldn't include in the video, and he asked, would you suck it for 1 million? Do you know how much you could do with $1 million? You could buy a house, you could buy cars, you could pay some college off, and all you had to do was suck it. Then Gabba asked me to describe Ubisoft in one word.
I'm in this game, to be honest.
Then we got a question from Mo, and he asked, has there ever been a game where you thought you would hate it, but once you finished it or beat it, you absolutely loved it? And honestly, it has to be Dark Souls for me. Personally, I don't like a game where you die constantly, like over and over again. I could deal with it somewhat, But if I feel like I'm getting nowhere, then I kind of get frustrated. But with Dark Souls, it's not that bad of a learning curve. Like once you learn how to play the game or learn how to defeat certain bosses, the game is really easy, to be honest. I mean, it's still kind of a challenge, but the enjoyment that you get from beating a certain area or beating a certain boss, it really just brings a whole nother element of joy that you can't really put into words. So if I had to pick a game, it would be Dark Souls, because for a long time I thought I would never play that kind of game. Then I got a really good question from Blunt. He said, what is your biggest challenge as a content creator? And if I was being honest, it's got to be your mental. Basically comparing yourself to others, especially when it comes to success, like where you are compared to where they are, the amount of work that they put in compared to the work that you put in. It's really hard not to try to fall into those numbers where you think that you're not doing enough or you're not gaining enough. It really could be very distraughting. Like it could bring you down. I say that's the biggest challenge, but honestly, if you put all that stuff to the side and just do it because you love to do it, one day everything will go your way, hopefully, and you know, change will happen, right? You just gotta put it up in the air and just hope for the best. And then I got a question from Meridius, and he asked, when did you realize you liked MILFs? And if I'm being honest, it had to be when I was in middle school, high school. I was looking at everybody mama. Everybody mama. I knew it. I was like, ooh.
Love of God! For the love of God! Please!
Then, of course, my guy Mario sent in the question, giver or receiver. And if you don't know, you need to go watch the World War Z video on my channel, and you would understand that I am a receiver. And then another question that I got from Blunt is, where do I see myself in 5 years from now? And honestly, I'm hoping to be a big time YouTuber, you know, whether it be with platinum content or any kind of content. I'm willing to branch out. But really, I wish I had my own office space. I'm hoping to, you know, retire my family early, make sure they don't got to worry about nothing. You know, I want to do this full time. I want to, you know, give all my love and energy to the content creation and just bring you guys joy every single day. That's my hope. That's, you know, that's where I hope to see myself in 5 years. And I think if I truly continue to grow and build relationships and build my channel, it is a potential that I could get to that spot someday. Then the last question comes in from Solj, and he says, Crypta the Necro Dancer or Anal? And honestly, one is way harder than the other, so the easier one has to be Anal.